Hey guys, this is Captain here from Bitten Apple TV in conjunction with It Came From The Radio. Now we are here at CradleCon getting in the girls' corner. Carrie, what happens in the girls' corner? What's going on here?
Hi, how you doing, Kadma? In the girls' corner it started out as like a media movement, and it kind of, I guess, took over the tone of girls, and it became a women's empowerment movement. I really like it to be an empowering movement in general, to empower people in general, because there's, with the world right now and everything that's going on, and, all the people, the celebrities that are, passing away, it's just too much. So this didn't really start from that. I had taken on some injuries outside of doing mixed martial arts. I was a kickboxer and I did Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I took on a couple of injuries, and instead of sitting in my house and being really depressed about it, I decided to take my skill and become a mixed martial arts reporter and journalist. So now I have a show. We have recorded shows, live shows, and I go to fights. I sit cage side, and my colleagues are professional fighters and referees, and it's great.
She just made herself like the coolest girl in history. I've been downgraded. It's okay, and I don't mind. How long did you do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu?
Not very long at all. Unfortunately, I took my injuries at 30 years old, but I spent about 13 years an addict of alcohol and drugs. So while I was partying and doing the wrong thing, not getting belts, not, really like training and honing my craft, and by the time I got sober at 29, my career was pretty much over with, mixed martial arts. You only have like a shelf life of maybe to 34 at best,
Wow. So what was that like? I mean, just sort of developing that as a career, because most people, when you see mixed martial arts or any martial arts at all, if you're looking at kung fu, karate, most people are familiar with, okay, there's the student and then there's the teacher, and then you see these celebrity fights, and then that's it. So people aren't, you're not really familiar with following this kind of career and then kind of just going like, whoa, this is really the process.
Well, it's funny because there's so many different avenues that you can take with mixed martial arts. You can be a fighter, you can be a coach, you can be a cornerman, a cutman, you can be, oh my gosh, there's so many things. A referee, you can be a judge, you could be a reporter, an on-screen personality. I kind of adopted the role of all, like the on-screen personality and the reporter, and actually I want to take the course to be a judge or a referee, which just another credential to add under my belt is great. I didn't go to school for this.
Hello again. If you're wondering why I'm here, it's because I was using this camera and for some reason it stopped in the middle of filming. Now Ralph is in charge. Oh boy, am I gonna get fired. Sorry, boss.
So besides that knockout right there, I mean, because I do Eagle Claw, I did Shotokan, I've done training myself, and it's very much a very part of my living. So what I do want to ask you is, like, as you're continuing doing your training, what was the hardest part for you to in your training, considering the fact of what you were battling, and then by the time you said that you had became sober by the time you were 29?
Yeah, I became sober when I was 29. I had done some kickboxing back in the day before that, and I had done, a little Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu here and there. The beautiful thing is that I put myself into some really stupid situations many times while I was drinking, but the beautiful thing about being, not being an addict, but about, that part of my life was that I was able to defend myself within reason and get myself out of situations that, could have potentially been really bad. So I've actually applied things that I've learned outside of, training and outside of learning. So it's really wild when you could take what you've learned and apply it to life and do something with it if you need to. You know what I mean? You don't want to ever walk around going, I wonder if I could defend myself. You know what I mean? Knowing that you can, that's really the biggest benefit that I've ever gotten out of mixed martial arts.
No, and I do appreciate you talking about it, because a lot of people are very can be very hesitant about discussing different things. So I appreciate the realism of it. And it is very true. Once you do some kind of training, it gives you a different level of confidence. And it's funny because the more I had trained, the more you can pick out other fighters. And it's really strange. It's just you're like walking like, that one fights. And you're like, how do you know? Like, I can just I can smell it. And it's strange because people who do prey upon other people, they can spot it out in a second. They know someone who will be like, that one may give me a little trouble. I'm gonna go over here. And it is beautiful that the fact that any form of martial arts, it does teach you that discipline and it does guide you through those dark moments. So now that you're doing a reporter, what are the most intense moments that you've watched, like sitting in the cage fights that you're just like, oh, thank God, oh my God, that's not me. Like what was the most intense moment for you as a reporter?
Actually, it was when I watched my friend Heather Hardy, who's right there, the blonde girl with the glasses. She's a professional boxer and now a professional MMA fighter. And I had seen, excuse me, her first fight at Madison Square Garden. It was amazing. She did so well, and she bloodied the crap out of the girl that she fought against, Alice Yoger. And then her second fight was against Christina Williams, who's a professional kickboxer, now professional MMA fighter. And Heather, it just didn't look like the same fighter, and she got her nose, I don't know how many places it was broken. It was bad. Her face pretty much just exploded right in front of me. I was like 10 feet away from it. That was pretty intense, because it was somebody that I knew. I've seen people get hurt, but it was never my friend. It was never somebody that I've actually sat next to and conversated with, and I actually just had walked into a fight and missed one of my friends getting knocked out cold. So seeing that was really intense.
Oh my God. How did you control yourself? Because I get mad when someone slightly shoulder bumps one of my friends. I'm like, yo, what are you doing? What are you doing? I get really intense. I mean, how hard was it just to sit there and kind of just go, I can't get in there just yet?
It's honestly, it's not even hard just doing that. It's hard sitting there watching, because I've become so many of the fighters that I've interviewed and that I've just hung out with have become personal friends of mine, where we talk on a daily basis. So seeing that was a little bit daunting, and watching people take shots at her online, I'm forced to want to defend, you know what I mean, my friends, and especially her. She's awesome. Heather's a great chick. But it's also the flip side is seeing your friend win, and you're not supposed to show favoritism, So I actually was watching a fight that I was at the other night. I was there a couple weeks ago, and I was watching it with my friend. I said, oh, look, there I am. And I'm like, there I am, just clapping very shyly, which is not me. Usually I'm out of my seat at fights, and I'm just like, golf clap, so it doesn't look like I'm favoriting my friend from Belmore, Long Island.
That's funny. Your friend's like, hey, is that all I'm getting? You're like, yeah. You did very good. Yeah. Very good.
Beautiful head kick.
That's like, what is it, My Little Ponies? I think Rainbow Dash is asking Shy Flutter, are you going to cheer for me like that? And she's like, yay. And so have you ever considered just going, maybe not doing it professionally, but have you dabbled back in other forms of martial arts, maybe like Tai Chi, something that may be a little bit more relaxed but just as powerful because you're using internal power?
I think where I'm going to go with it, if anything, is do more of Taekwondo, which is a lot of kicking. I'm really flexible. I'm still really agile for my age, so I definitely think that might be a really great avenue for me to go, where I could just, employ it in kickboxing and not do too many, full extension punches, do more jabs and stuff where I'm not really putting all my force of my arms into it. I really am not great with a relaxing kind of thing. I've tried yoga. It's just too, I need a contact sport. I need somewhere I could rip someone's arm off or face off,
You sound like me with my Sifu. My Sifu's like, you have to practice Tai Chi, and I'm always in class like, can I hit one of the boys now? And he always looks at me like, you have to do internal and external. I'm like, oh, all right, fine. I'm like, you're the teacher. I have to listen to you anyway.
It's true, and I try to do some meditation on my own, and try to go within a lot, where I am doing my own kind of relaxing thing and drawing power from within myself, but I can't do too much activities where it's really, really calm. So it is what it is, and I did think about competing years ago. I actually really wanted to. I got really great at kickboxing. I have a really great reach in my arms and my legs, so for me to drop 10 pounds and fight a girl that's considerably smaller than me, even a girl that's my size, I would give a problem to, a really big problem, just because, like I said, I'm really strong and I'm very lengthy, so before you're hitting me, you're out, you're gone. But and then I got injured, 3 or 4 back-to-back injuries, and that was enough for me, and they weren't even when I was training.
It's always something outside. You're like, that's what takes me out.
Oh, you 7 stairs. upstairs. That's what did it. Okay.
You and I have to talk because obviously you and I are in the same boat. I do want to ask you though, when it came to the times that you did have to use your training, what was one particular move, if you can remember what the move is? Because sometimes I'll do things and it'll take me like looking back 45 times, like, oh, that's what I did without thinking. Any particular move that you realized you did and you're like, yeah, damn right, I'm badass.
It honestly was, I think, within the first 3 minutes of the conversation. It was with a guy, and he was considerably bigger than me. And when he was able to, like, throw me to the chair and thought he was going to, keep me there and smother me and hold me, what they would say, against the cage and, grind me against it. He thought he was going to, keep me there. And
I love when they underestimate you. Continue.
he couldn't even come close. My friend actually watched, and he was like, he couldn't even smother you. And he's like, as soon as I started coming over, he's like, and then I saw you were fine. And he grabbed my leg and I started kicking him while he was grabbing it. So he's like, you could see his arms pulling back. And then at one point I just threw a really big overhand right. And I just remember it was all on instinct. If somebody's on top of you, the first thing I want to do is kick them, get them off. If I can't punch you and get you off of me, I'm going to kick you and do whatever I can that's best. If you can't talk or you can't breathe, you can't fight. So I'm going to kick you here. And when I went to go kick him here was when he grabbed my leg. So then I was just, that's when I was just continuously kicking, threw a couple punches. At one point, I pulled him into my guard on the floor. It was crazy. It was really crazy, but I wasn't going to let him get me, so.
I just wanted to propose. This is going to be my second wife. You are incredible, and I love the fact that you're tiny as well. Because when I walk in, and I get the same exact reaction. They're like, "Oh, she's tiny. She can't do anything," and then they walk away like, "I didn't know she hit back," and I'm like, "Yeah, I hit back and I hit hard."
Yours are like mine. I could assume you'd hurt.
Oh my God, we're twinsies. So for those who are like, they want to follow the fights that you're going to, they want to see your friend, they're like, oh man, what's going on? Where can they come check out your show?
Oh, you can find me on inthegirlscorner.com. That's my website. You can find us on Facebook at In the Girls Corner, Instagram at In the Girls Corner. I actually post a lot of stuff on my personal. It's Carrie Stellar, and on Twitter, ITGC blog. And yeah, you could see all my updates on where my friends are fighting, where the next UFC is going to be at, when it's going to be, because a lot of people forget, they don't look it up, so they don't know where the next one's going to be. And I'm always posting my friends like, oh shit, I forgot that fight was happening. Thanks, man. So you can find me everywhere.
Make sure you guys tune in and check out for the next swing and see what's happening in the Girls Corner. Bye.